Sen has finally arrived. We're down in Bishop Stortford.
Yeah.
Gonna be filming with Xupes. You guys have been asking about watches for time now, innit? So
yeah. Obviously, as a gentleman,
in it. What's that about? Okay. Yeah. Anyway, look. Yeah.
As a gentleman, you want to have something nice, a nice kettle, as they say, on your wrist.
Yeah.
So we're here to come and talk to some guys who are gonna teach us a few things about what goes into a good watch and what a good watch is.
But anyway, look, guys.
Yeah.
Let's go see Xupes.
Cool.
Hi guys, we're here over at Xupes in the Wheat Barn, Hertfordshire.
Yeah, not everyone really knows where the Wheat Barn is.
But yeah,
Bishop Stortford.
Bishop Stortford.
Yeah.
And as requested, we are doing a watch video.
Yeah.
So we're here with one of the best watch specialists in the UK, not the world actually, Xupes. Yeah.
Xupes. Yeah.
Xupes, and we're here with Matt. So
Matt's going to talk us through.
Thanks very much, guys.
Yeah.
So I'll jump straight in with the Rolex. This is the DateJust.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Can't go wrong with it.
Yeah.
It's a nice dressy watch without being too over the top. Still understated with a nice fluted bezel.
Yeah.
This is a newer model as well because you've got the nice oyster bracelet on here as well, rather than the traditional Jubilee bracelet. Great entry level watch for anyone who's looking for a nice Swiss luxury brand.
Okay.
And jumping feet first in with Rolex.
Mm-hmm.
Generally these will go, depending on age on them, from around about £3,500 upwards, which is a great spend for a unisex watch. This particular one is the 36mm model as well, so it's the larger size on that.
Okay.
They also do the ladies models again from a 28, 26 and a 31mm also.
So this is like the crossover one then between the sizes.
Yeah, so you'll find this will be the larger size, quite popular for gents that want to have a nice watch to put on and leave on without too much over the top.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. This is the thing. Let me see how it looks on, how big it looks on. I've always looked at it and thought it looks nice on my lady's hand. But
those are the most popular ones I see. The DateJust. Yeah.
They are the most popular.
But does that look small on my hand?
Even for us. So
now that you say it,
perfect fit.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it does look small. Like I'm
not wearing my wife's watch.
No.
You tend to find this more for an everyday work approach. So if you're nice and suited and booted going to work, it's great for that. You've got a nice chunky case on there. So although it's not the largest of watches for a gent size, it's still a substantial piece. It still feels like you're wearing a big watch because of the taper on the case.
No, it does feel good. It does. Let me just show that to the camera. Yeah.
I saw the little gleam in the hip. Yeah.
You tend to find a lot of the Rolex models for the gents tend to sit around 40mm. It's an average gent's size for a watch.
Okay.
And what size is this?
36.
Okay.
So it's that cross between having the unisex, the ladies wearing a large watch, and the man wearing a smaller watch.
Okay.
Nice piece for every day. The other one we've got here is another step up. So this is IWC.
Yeah.
So this is Portuguese.
Yeah.
This one is actually, because this is a pre-owned watch, we're actually saving £5,000 off of list on them.
Oh wow.
Even though, as you can see for yourself, it's actually still stickered.
That's actually really good.
So you save a lot on this. This is actually 18 karat as well. So this is not made from steel. They do the steel models.
Yeah.
That are around £4,000 to £5,000.
Okay.
So if you don't want to broach that luxury precious metal approach, you can get the steel. This is a more dressier piece. You've got the nice Arabic numerals on there. You've got a chronograph on here too. So top button, stop start, bottom button reset.
Yeah.
This will also have a nice substantial weight to it. So very similar to the DateJust on weight, even though it's on a leather strap.
I feel happy, I like. Do you know what? This is the thing. This is more my style. Yeah.
So IWC are quite an understated brand. This is the next step up from Rolex. You tend to find even their entry level, like the Engineer. And the Aquatimers, they tend to be more appropriate to divers' watches.
Okay.
And then they do their luxury brands, so the Portuguese, the Portofino.
Yes. Okay.
Very nice pieces. Again, these both are automatic watches.
Okay.
The nice thing about that is, although it's a big watch, even though you've got a chronograph on there as well, the complications inside are nice and slim.
Okay.
So it's perfect if you're wearing a suit. You can put it straight into a shirt, whether you're wearing cufflinks or just a button-down shirt.
Nice.
The range itself will go from about £4,000 to £5,000 up to about £20,000 to £30,000 per end.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good. That's reasonable.
From their more limited edition boutique pieces to the normal Portuguese on there.
Okay.
We've also got the Frank Muller. So this is the King Conquistador. These are very popular with investment bankers, investors, stockbrokers, because of the sheer luxury on them.
Okay.
These are master of complications, so they make some very quirky pieces.
I've seen a few, yeah.
They make some pretty unusual pieces, but they're very clever. This is a big watch for a J.
Yeah.
It looks 18 carat, and it's a nice weight to it again.
Wow. Let's roll it on there. That looks massive. Yeah, that feels good though. I've noticed there, that's for sure.
So masters of complication, can you, what exactly?
So whereas Cartier, for example, are the jewelers of kings.
Okay.
They're what they're known for. Frank Muller are the master of complications because of the sheer uniqueness to some of their watches. They do a particular piece called the Secret Hours, similar case shape.
Yeah.
Where regardless of what the time is, the hands will always show 12 o'clock.
Okay.
When you press a button on the side, that pusher, it will then go to the correct time.
Okay.
They'll also do Crazy Hours, which is a pretty funky piece, where the numbers aren't in a numerical order. They're all over the shop. But the hands will always point to the correct time.
So you just got to remember.
So they'll snap to 3, they'll snap to 6, they'll snap to 2, but it'll always be the right time.
Okay, that's crazy.
But they're all mechanically made, they're all handmade, hand assembled. So something like that would take someone 6 months to make.
Okay.
To assemble.
Yeah.
But that's why they're known for the master of complications.
I fully understand that.
Very unusual pieces.
Yeah.
And I mean, something like this again, you could save £5,000 to £10,000 off of list price on their bigger pieces.
Seriously?
On something like this, we could still save £4,000 or £5,000 off of
That's
list.
amazing.
So
Okay.
just from simply having something pre-owned, I mean, you can see yourself the watch is immaculate.
Yeah.
Even down to the strap itself
It's
has
still recording.
barely been used. I mean, there's always that misconception with pre-owned being labelled as pre-owned and it being worn in a bit of a sorry state and a hand-me-down,
Yeah.
Whereas actually a lot of our watches are listed as 9 out of 10 because it might be 3 years old, it might have already had an owner, but actually it's still stickered.
There you go.
Sometimes it can be thousands of pounds that you can save simply by already having a previous owner on it, even though they might have bought it as an investment piece, because luxury watches are a great way to put your money into without having to worry about losing too much on them, especially from things like this. This is a great piece. They're one of the other popular Rolex, the Daytona.
Oh, okay, yes.
This is one of the newer models without the ceramic bezel.
Okay.
Again, 904L steel, so it's a surgical steel, great for every day. These are technically a sports watch. However, they are very popular by city workers.
Okay.
You'll tend to find them if you're sitting on the tube. You'll notice them on a lot of people's wrists because they're such a luxurious watch. They are currently actually going above list price because of the sheer desirability and availability on them.
Of course, supply and demand, right?
This is something for us that we would list for under £10,000. The newest model, even though they'll list around 8, is actually achieving somewhere around £14,000.
Wow.
So even something like this, you'll save £5,000 just by simply having something that's a few years old. And as you can see, it's immaculate.
It is. Yeah. That looks brand new.
These are quite good actually as well for someone who wants a nice watch to just put on and leave on. You've got a screw down crown that you adjust the time with and screw down pushes for your chronograph.
Yeah.
Means it's watertight. So if you want to just put it on and leave on, you don't have to worry about getting water inside because it's not going to happen if they're screwed down. And there's a nice weight on that.
Yeah.
Again with the Daytonas, they do them in varying styles. This is the black dial, they do it with champagne dial, diamonds, they do it with white dial.
Okay, I like that.
Again, bi-colour, steel, gold, the lot. The other piece we've got on here is Blancpain. Now these are a Swiss watchmaker. They are one of the oldest watchmakers still going. These are actually under the Swatch Group, who own Omega, who own Blancpain, who own Breguet. These are their top of the line horology. The watch itself, this is the 8 jour, which means 8 days. So the power reserve on it, when you wind this watch, you could put it down and leave it and it will still continue for 8 days. You tend to find on the Rolex, they'll last about 48 hours. So you can see it's a lot different. This is actually a limited edition piece.
Okay.
So they are numbered. Again, this is a next step up. So for something like this, it will retail around about £60,000 new when it was first released. This is a discontinued limited edition piece, so they're achieving around 20 at the moment.
Okay.
However, this is made from solid platinum.
Okay,
that's the difference. Again, a huge weight on that, considering big size watch, nice big
I
dial.
felt the difference on that since that went on.
You tend to find they're quite good for collectors.
Yeah.
So that investment banker, that business worker who wants something that's limited edition that nobody else has, that's understated. It's a very dressy watch.
It is.
Rather than something that is technically a sports watch that you're dressing up, something that's a big show-off piece that you're wearing out. This is very understated. This is a. I know that I've got a platinum watch. You don't.
No, I like that.
You'll find one of the more collectible pieces for a luxury brand is Patek Philippe.
Okay. He
Again,
talks about Patek a lot, actually.
they are something you can't quite get your head around from the sheer refinements that they go through to make a watch.
Okay.
Something like this. This is a Calatrava. It's probably one of the most popular watches they do.
Okay.
This is actually a larger Calatrava. So you tend to find them around 33 mil.
Okay.
Because at the generation they were bought out, that was a big watch. That was a gent's watch.
Yeah.
This is 38. It's a very ultra thin watch.
That is a beautiful watch.
It's a manual wind, and in that short space there's about 300 parts just in that have all been handmade and hand assembled.
And this is the smallest manual wind I've ever seen.
They do make some of the most thinnest watches that are mechanical winds. Even an automatic, you'll find that this will be the same sort of thickness. So thin. Again, 18 carat, and it's a very understated watch.
Yeah.
It's having something that someone will clock. No, you've got a nice watch because you can see it's gold, you can see it's quite a refined piece, and not really knowing how luxurious that is.
Yeah.
And again, works very well with a suit.
Oh, that is
Nice
beautiful.
dressy piece.
Yeah, this is something I would wear to a black tie.
I was going to say, that would look nice with a black suit, wouldn't it?
Yeah. This
That
is
would
really
look
a night
beautiful.
out
Yeah.
somewhere. This is really nice.
I do like that. That is really, really nice. I think that's probably the best looking watch on here. That is it's so elegant.
Yeah, in terms of classiness.
It's so elegant.
Yeah.
For an everyday watch, to be able to wear to work,
Not an everyday watch.
I would go Daytona or IWC.
Okay.
Or Rolex.
So,
Or the IWC.
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah.
As a dress watch, I'd take the Patek any day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. It's
You
amazing.
tend to find it goes either way. Either somebody wants a nice watch, it's a nice entry-level watch to a Swiss brand
Yeah.
because they just want a nice watch.
Yes.
Or you'll tend to find someone will want specific items. So a specific Rolex Daytona or a specific Patek.
Yeah.
Because they know the investment in it and they know the desirability on it.
Exactly.
We're lucky enough to have all of them. All of our watches that we own are here with us, and it's quite nice to, rather than saying this is, oh, we can get this in a week, we can get this in 2 weeks.
It's just here.
We can go and get it in 5 minutes.
Yes, I like that. I like Xupes is the place to be. Yeah, the face is shining, by the way.
I was about to say, but I didn't want to pause the video. But hey,
It's alright. It's
I'm
all good.
prepared.
It is what it is, man. We
I
just keep
wasn't
rolling.
prepared to start, but I am prepared.